Don't you love it?
Yeah, I do.
That's so cool. So what are we doing?
They were doing this.
Yay! Yeah, that's really cute. Very retro.
I was actually never allowed short hair.
When you're growing up?
Yeah, my parents never let me cut my hair.
Yeah.
No.
That can be common in New Zealand. It's long hair culture.
I was like 17 and my mum left me at the hairdresser and I was like, just cut it off. Do it while she's not here. She won't.
Oh, really? Is that how you did it?
Yeah, she's like, she won't let you do it if you're
Yeah.
here.
And then she came to get you and she freaked out.
She did. My dad was quite mad.
So your dad what?
My dad was quite mad.
He was mad?
Yeah.
You're 17 at that point. But when you're 18 on.
Yeah.
But there was the generation of Kiwis that were overly conservative.
Yeah.
And your parents were probably the generation after that where they were the rebellion. And also I think Maori culture influences white culture because girls in the South, but not just like Pacific Island and Maori, right? Long hair, right?
Yeah.
And then they all go to school together and they have long hair and you want long hair, right?
Yeah.
And then traditionally conservative Kiwis would make you have these forced short things, right?
Mm.
And then you go to school with Maori girls with this and you're like, I want that too. So that does have an influence on the culture as well.
Yeah.
But it used to be back up to the 60s, girls had to be bobbed to go to school.
Really?
Yeah, if you look back,
wow.
watch the movie Heavenly Creatures. You ever see that movie?
No, but I've...
You've heard of it though?
Yeah,
Because that's a true story about New Zealand in Christchurch in the 60s. Every girl was bobbed. They had to be bobbed to go to school. That was the haircut rule. And guys had to have grooming standards. The girls had grooming standards. What happened was eventually, probably in the late 60s, early 70s, sometime around there, the schools broke on those rules so they could allow them to grow, but they had to wear ponytails. Which is still the rule today.
It is still the
They were
rule
all these years
today.
later, 2021, girls
Yeah.
can now have long hair, but they have to have a ponytail. That replaced the bob rule.
Yeah.
But you think by now, you just let them have their hair, right?
It's such a weird thing to just like not be allowed to wear your hair how you'd want it.
Welcome to New Zealand. I mean, I'm not from here, I don't get it, but
Yeah.
you know, this is I call it the do as you're told culture. Boys go to this school, girls go to this school. You stick a uniform on, put your hair up in a ponytail, or if you want to not wear a ponytail, you have to cut it. You know, bob or shorter, probably. You know, just going back to the. It's just New Zealand. It's weird. 2021.
I went to an all-girls Catholic high school.
There you
so
go.
It was terrible.
Yeah. Then you had your long hair and you had your ponytail. And your
Yeah.
parents were like, "Don't cut your hair."
No.
Yeah. Well, a lot of Catholics are like, "Get a haircut." So you had the opposite Catholic.
I did.
Yeah. Come on over. Let's watch it. Because, you know, this is all about people at home that can't sleep at 2 a.m. and they go down this rabbit hole. Because that's exactly the target audience.
That's exactly what I do as well.
Me too.
I'll scroll and find it one day and be like, oh my gosh, that's
Yeah,
me.
me too. Yeah, but that's exactly, come on over. Yeah, that's exactly the target.
Yeah.
Those who can't sleep at 2 a.m. find themselves on these haircuts. And they're like, oh, it's now 2:45. I really should go to bed. One more. Just one more.
It's always one more and then it's like 12
Yeah.
more and you're like,
Yeah.
something completely different.
People watching at home, we feel your pain. And the obviously the reason for doing this is getting away from editorial,
Yeah.
doing video for the first time. And I am certainly an insomniac that can't sleep with you. Oh, why don't we just get back to those like me?
Yeah.
But I wouldn't watch haircut videos because it's what I do.
Yeah.
So what do I end up watching? All kinds of weird things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It like encourages people as well. They see it and they're like, oh, I really want that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true as well.
Yeah. I feel like if I didn't see the ad, I probably never would have cut my hair short.
No.
Just ever.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, we did give you a bob before,
Yeah.
which, like as you said, it scared you.
It was
at
terrifying,
first,
but I
and then
loved
once you did it, you loved
Yeah.
it. Yeah, yeah. So this is your second haircut with me,
Yeah.
because you haven't grown up since that bomb. Well, I haven't seen you for quite a while.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're just putting you way outside your box, obviously.
It's good.
Yeah.
I knew if I came here, you would convince me to do something just way out of my comfort zone, which
Yeah.
I think I needed.
Yeah, that's exactly the point, though.
Yeah.
If you want to be in your comfort zone, you can pay for a haircut. If you want to be outside of your comfort zone, then you can volunteer for this.
That's true.
And yeah, trims are paid for during regular business hours. This is outside of business hours, and we're not trimming here. We're putting it way outside your box.
That's cute.
And then, as you can see, we got the old retro barber chair. My good friend over at Godfather Barber restores them, so he gave it to me for a very good price. I was going to stick in the corner as like a novelty thing. Then I did one bob with it. I was like, oh my god, because it's higher up, it's better ergonomics.
Yeah.
So I started doing haircuts with it. And then I'm like, oh, we should use this as a prop for the video idea.
Yeah.
And then I went and bought this stripy cape. Because the barber chair has a stripy cape.
Yeah.
Which also looks very retro too. So yeah, you really feel like, yeah, it's like 1978, you got your haircut.
Yeah.
In like the unisex barber shop in the mall. Cheap haircuts, we love it. Yours would be more like, that's not really a barber shop cut though. The stronger mushroom shape would be, they'd go snip, 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 snip. That's more textured and blow dried with style. So it's more like, yeah, the hair salon than the barbers, but still in the mall.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And absolutely we want it to be like, Mom says you have to have a haircut. It's picture day at school or whatever, whatever the story was back then.
You won't be allowed in.
Yeah. Yeah. And then for those watching at home, I think the older generation, like, I used to have that haircut. Oh my god.
It's coming back in style.
Yeah, my mom made me get that haircut. My favorite was one of my clients back home was growing her hair out from a pixie.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, well, why don't we do, like, it's growing out. We'll just grow the weight line into, the bowl cut. Just kind of grow that rocks anything. Bowl cut. And then we'll let that grow in the weight line into a bob. And she's like, yeah, that sounds cool.
Oh, wow.
So you do this haircut, and then, it's finished, and you show her the back on the mirror. And you gotta imagine, it's a busy salon. She yells out, as soon as she showed the mirror, she loves it so much, she yells out, oh my god, it's the Disney haircut! And the whole salon looks over at her, I'm like, what? She goes, when I was 12, Mom said, we're going to Disneyland, but you have to have a haircut. This is the haircut she made me get, and then we went to Disneyland. That was like the happiest time of my life. I got the Disney haircut. And the whole salon's looking around, laughing their asses off.
I go to Disneyland for that haircut.
Yeah. She's like, oh, we're going to Disneyland, but you have to have a haircut. So, okay. She gets the little bowl. And that guy was probably long, and she got this bowl. Well, it's hot in Florida. You got to get a haircut.
That is so cute.
And she's like, oh, it's my favorite haircut ever. And I got it again. But the idea was like, oh, just cut it that shape so to grow to a bob. From her pixie. The pixie's growing out, so we just evened it out all the way around. And she's like, oh my god. The Disneyland haircut. That was a while ago. That would have been 18 years ago now, probably. But I'm still friends with her on Facebook.
That's so cute.
Yeah, she's got kids now too. And I know it's her daughter. The daughter's still young, but she's giving her daughter really short haircuts too. She's still got short hair. She's a short hair mom. So yeah, we're going to start with the Fringe as well. Oh, that more dramatic, as you can see from the front. But we're going to do, that's a bit longer of a fringe, so it swifts over. So we're going to go about there with it, right? And that's middle of the ear, and that's taken up with the back. But I'm keen on a little bit longer of a fringe. So we'll go into this area. It just allows it to be swept over.
I only had a fringe once because I was too scared of looking like my mum.
Oh, but when you look like your mum, that's the best.
I looked exactly like her with it too.
It's actually can be the worst or the best thing. It depends if she's a role model or not. Well, if she's a role model, when you look like your biggest role model, then that should be a good thing, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
But some people get mortified.
Yeah.
Different reactions. So like, oh my god, I look like my mom. Like that's a great thing. Oh my god, I look like my mom. Like it's the worst thing. Everyone's a bit different.
I'm so nervous.
You nervous?
Yeah.
Happy nerves though.
It's happy nerves. I trust you.
It's not scary nerves. It's happy nerves.
Yeah. It's when you need a change.
Yeah. And this also is going down a rabbit hole. Because you're going to come back for more haircuts.
Oh, yeah.
So this is just the beginning of a few. And you work in the bar, don't you?
I used to. I don't
where are you working
anymore.
now?
I'm currently out of job because I wanted to go.
Home?
I wanted to go home, and then
Where's
I've been Auckland, unfortunately.
Oh, stay here.
Yeah, no, definitely. But I wanted to go home for Christmas and stuff, and so I had to.
Oh, because that's your busy time, and then they wouldn't give you the leave, so you just gave
Yeah.
notice so you could, and then you catch
Just
that.
at home. So I'm looking at the moment.
Yeah, that's cool. The haircut will help.
Yeah.
Little haircut. That's how did that grow? That really cool haircut.
Because there's a stack of CVs and they all look the same, but then you show up with this haircut.
It's memorable.
They're like, oh, that girl was so great. The face of the business. So when you look at that, that's right to, the link is right into there, right? You cool with that?
Yeah.
Well, it's already happening. They wouldn't ask you if you're cool with that in the mall. They would just snip.
Just do it.
1978 in the mall. There's no, are you okay with this? It's like, snip.
Goodbye.
No delay. Goodbye. Mum looking on. And then the only question they did ask back then, they turned the chair and, is this okay, Mom? And Mom would say, oh no, shorter than that. And they spin you back and they start cutting more.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what things were like back then.
Yeah, I think my mum would have a heart attack.
Yeah, your mom, because that's later generation.
Yeah.
She probably grew up with that kind of stuff because of her age.
Mm.
And then,
Yeah, she's
who
a bit
knows?
older, yeah.
Yeah.
She did like the bob though.
Did she?
It was really surprising.
Yeah, the bob was good on you.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah.
But I thought she would just hate it because it's short.
Yeah. And also anyone watching from home, these aren't how-to videos. And I'm not about the critiquing or whatever. It's like blah, blah, blah. When it comes to hair, there's no right or wrong. It's discretionary and it's art. People are like, oh, why is he doing it? The internet, critiquing internet. I'm like, nah.
It's got so much worse right now,
yeah.
hasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. What's that name of that? She wrote The Joy of Cooking. Julia Childs. She's like, oh, never. There's no mistakes. Or Bob, what's his name? Bob Ross the painter?
Yeah.
There's no mistakes, just
Happy accidents.
Happy accidents. Yeah, exactly. We need more people like that in the world again.
I know.
But for me, like if I was doing like how I cut hair regularly in a salon, I'm not doing that in these videos. I'm trying to recreate how they did back then.
Mm.
But also because my grandmother had a hair salon. The picture's over here, the poster. She opened in 1973.
Oh, wow.
So I was 5 years old hanging on that salon. So that's how you first get absorbed and exposed to that. So I was exposed to that generation of cutting and styling at my early age.
Yeah.
But then I went off to Aveda Academy, so I learned modern stuff through stuff later on. You know, was the bulk of my career. But it's cool to mix the two together.
It's really sweet.
Yeah, let's do some retro style. I'm not cutting absolutely like how they did back then, but I'm doing a mix. It's a hybrid of things. You just take what inspires you and you put it together.
Seeing on my hair drop.
Oh yeah, that's fun, isn't it? That's all part of the liberation.
It is. It does feel like a weight just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the one we did on Friday was 2 girls. And we drank beer beforehand.
We did that with me as well.
Did
I
you?
think that's
Did
why
you?
I ended up being so open because we had apple crumble cider, and then
Yeah,
I just got
I
to a
remember
point where I was
that
like,
night.
just do it.
Yeah? It was on a Friday night. Was it in this shop or my old shop?
It was here.
It was in this shop,
Yeah,
okay.
and we were
Yeah.
about to go to town. It was quite late at night.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to look up. Did I take photos of it? Maybe not.
I'm not sure. I don't know.
So you were at uni at the time or just walking by?
I think I was at uni at the time. I did.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we've done that here where we're in here having a few drinks and
Yeah.
the students walking by going to town
Mm.
and they pop in and then all of a sudden someone's in a chair
Yeah.
and all of a sudden someone's bobbed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's happened a few times in here.
No. But
And you go to town, they're like,
It was
and even
really
funnier because you go to
strange.
town, like let's say you saw them earlier and then you
Yeah.
you go off for like 40 minutes and then you see them again and you're bobbed and this is like 12:30 in the morning or 1 o'clock. They're like, how did that happen?
You know, my eyes didn't recognize me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So much fun when that stuff happens though.
No, I got pulled up because they're like, "Who are you?" And I'm
Yeah.
like, "It's me."
Yeah. Like, oh my gosh, you're here. But the best even like, not a full-on haircut. It was just a fringe.
Yeah.
Like long hair girl. And all of a sudden you give her a little bang, like fringe, on their way to town. Because they're walking down to town. They
Yeah.
pop in, not even like 5 minutes in here, bangs. Then they
Yeah.
show up to their friends in town, it's like, I got bangs. They're like, where did you get that? Like, oh, blew up hair up the hell. They've done a few of those too.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
And like, you know, when you're 80, you look back at that stuff like, oh my god, that was so much fun.
Yeah.
You see bangs, you're like, oh, that was the best.
Oh my gosh.
And then relax your shoulders, head straight down. Yeah, that's it. Did you finish uni?
No, I haven't finished yet.
Good for you.
Started with a different degree,
Yeah.
realised I hated it, and
Yeah.
it was like, nope.
There's so much of that out there, but you're wasting your time if you're not focused on the degree that you're working on.
Yeah.
You're better to take a step back and then figure out what it is you want to do.
Yeah, so changed now, and I do love it.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I started out my career as a mechanical engineer.
Oh wow.
Doing a good job, aren't I? But then I fell back on this because the influence from my grandma partly influenced it.
Yeah.
And a few things influenced it.
Yeah.
But it's cutting all my friends' hair in high school anyway. And then I did the engineering, and then I think at 24 I took a step back because my friend Sunil started to teach me how to cut hair. Like, it's properly his way. Because I was, you know, I had my way of doing it, and it says, you're not going to do it like that, are you? He just sat me down. So he actually, I had a way of doing a bob, and he's like, oh, no, let me show you how to do a bob. Which is good. I mean, like I said, there's no right or wrong. But he opened up my mind to a different way, a different approach of doing things.
Yeah.
But I love Sunil, but he is very critiquey, which is a good thing.
It helps you like grow.
It helps you to grow, yeah. And also his energy, enthusiasm.
Yeah.
I'll show you a picture of him so you get an idea.
Yeah.
And I worked with him, like I would have been 24 when he was starting to show me how to do a proper bob. And I did work for his salon. One of the last places I worked with him in New Zealand. So about 10 years ago, 11 years ago, I was working for him. So it would have been, you know, we still keep in touch on Facebook now, but yeah, we're talking about 93, 94
Wow.
to about 2009 when I stopped working for him. But I did work with him the whole time, but that's how long he's been part of my life, right?
Yeah.
But here's a picture of them there. So it's Dean and Sunil. That's Dean and Sunil. And they've been together since high school. And they're still together today.
That's so sweet.
And that picture would have been around the time when he was teaching me how to do bob. So we're talking about 94-ish right there.
Yeah.
And for those at home who want to see, that's Dean and Sunil. And anyone from Toronto, remember there's a little hair salon called Cook Bazaar. They used to manage it, and then they'd take a step off to the side and they opened Mid Lounge. And now Mid Lounge, they were, you know, all the COVID stuff, so that stuff's gone now.
Yeah.
That area of Toronto's gone now. Because of the devastation of the COVID on them. We're lucky in this country.
Yeah.
I don't think Sunil will ever be watching this at 2 in the morning. Same thing, a hairdresser that won't watch hair things when you're not. It's like, yeah.
I feel like it's your job. You kind of just want to watch something else.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'll go down now. I like crime things on YouTube.
Ooh, yeah,
I'll go
like
down
true
that rabbit hole a
crime.
lot. There's a few different things. Yeah, true crime's one.
Yeah.
I'll go down those rabbit holes.
I love all those documentaries they're putting on Netflix.
Me too.
Yeah, they're so good.
Yep.
It's just good because it's easy viewing.
Yep. You watch Serpent yet?
Yes, we're watching that at the moment.
Here we are plugging things. They should be
Yeah.
paying us for this. As soon as I started watching Serpent, I couldn't stop it.
I know.
That's like 3 a.m. You're like, what happens next? Like, next episode? Yes. Click.
It is so good.
Skip intro. Next episode, skip intro. Get on with it. God, that was so good. The girl that played the French Canadian, or they said the Quebecois, because they said Quebecois, which I was so impressed with that movie instead of Quebec or Quebec or Quebec.
Quebecois. So I'm really impressed that they used that in that movie as well.
Yeah.
But that actress that played it was great.
Yeah, she was so good.
Yeah. And he was great.
Very psycho killer.
Yeah, no emotion. Hello, how are you?
Good, thanks.
Just be a second.
I'm Hannah.
Oh, Hannah, cool.
Yes.
Yeah, you want to talk about haircuts? and
Yeah.
like- Grab a seat, I'll be a few minutes.
Oh, cool, thanks.
And the other reason why I like this project too is because I still work on film sets.
Oh, really?
And then there you'd have to do period hair sometimes.
Yeah.
So putting people into character and doing their haircuts to match the eras. But I won't do films ever again.
Really?
But I do like the concept of doing that kind of work, but without the film set part of it. Because yeah, it burns you out. It's just, you've done a few, like, you know, call it a canoe trip. You've done a few, you know,
Long hours.
Yeah,
isn't
long
it?
hours
Yeah.
burns you out.
Yeah.
Your each of the throats, all that stuff. So you want to do the creative aspect of it and just that part of it, and then just that. Nothing else to do with it.
Yeah.
So it lets you allowed to do that kind of stuff again, but without the politics of the film set. And then the last the last quarter of a film set to get to is where it gets brutal. It can, not always, but it can.
I've done a few of the 48-hour competitions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those last like minutes trying to like fuck out of them.
Painful
So bad.
endurance. Yeah.
Yeah. We went through a whole tray of these.
Oh, you can see the shape coming together. Isn't that fun?
I know. That's
And it's not too short on you, you can tell.
I'm yet to figure out how to market a YouTube page.
Post it on your Facebook.
I will eventually. I just want a few more videos up first. So make it more for people to look at. But we just posted the first one days ago.
Oh yeah.
It's just it's a long-term thing anyway. Friday was funny too, yeah, because they were trying to like, you know, we're inspired by these historical eras. So with the two girls that they did it together and they dressed up the time, and we were making jokes because we had a few beers beforehand.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh yeah, let's do like 1983.
Yeah.
And you're the receptionist in the dental office, and you're the dental hygienist. And because the one girl had a haircut with me before, the other one hadn't.
Yeah.
And so it's like, and the receptionist bringing the hygienist for a haircut after work. So we like look at this jokes. We were kind of like mocking it as we're not doing like role play. We're just making jokes. So one of the girls' phones rang. The iPhone rang.
Yeah.
And then it was over there. So we brought it. I go, what is that? Some kind of futuristic device? Oh, it's so funny. Like, what would you do with that? Like, look, it vibrates and it gives music. It's really, wow, how fascinating. And then I made a joke. Really, in 1983, if someone found an iPhone, they wouldn't figure out how to use it except for maybe one use. They'd carry it around with them and use it to snort cocaine. Because that era, right?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, it's perfect for snorting cocaine. Look what I found. Isn't it cool? You just, has a little thing,
Just line it up.
Yeah. That's exactly what it'd be used for. Because they didn't be able to figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's some kind of like cocaine snorting accessory. That's why so much music from that era was super cheese. They'd write this stuff.
Yeah.
Well, like their brains were in that boom, 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 boom phase. You got the touch. You got the power. Sing crap like that. Loverboy, like a band called Loverboy.
Yeah.
Wow. He's wearing the headband, and you hear the lyrics and stuff like do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do. Like, oh wow, you're a little bit too into yourself. Does this really mean in the 70s, or Fringe would be sure? I'm almost tempted to do it anyway. You wouldn't kill me, would you?
What?
If I went up to there.
Where?
There.
That's fine.
Yeah, I think so too. I was going to do it longer because I wanted that sweeping kind of thing. But, well, this is 1978, so you have to turn and ask them. This is what we used to be like. How's that Fringe, Mom? And Mom would say, no, shorter. Much shorter. I'm like, okay. If anyone remembers getting a haircut in that era, that's pretty much what it was like. Go just there for now. I could be meaner and go shorter. I'm liking the way that looks on you though.
Yeah.
Also for photo shoots around town, Wellington has got a lot of history,
Mm-hmm.
like 60s, 70s, and 80s. So it's good locations for photo shoot. And my favorite place to show a photo shoot in this region, if you want to do retro in the
Yeah.
past, is Masterton. God, that was so fun out there.
Yeah.
It's like a little time warp.
So fun.
Late 70s, early 80s. The whole town still looks like that. Shorter fringe feels better, eh?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
does.
yeah. Mom, is that short enough? Mom says yes. The salon. Not really that, just the our salon mom, to be honest, the salon mom is a coin toss.
Yeah.
Say, Mom, should we go shorter? You flip a coin. Coin says yes. Because you never know what mom's gonna say. Like mom says shorter. Mom, is that good? Flip a coin. Yeah, mom says that's good now. You can never tell with mom. Cool. Where do you want to part it? This way. Or the other way? Or you don't go that way? You can see the kind of texture does moving it that way. It naturally wants to go that way. Cool. We'll blow dry in a few minutes. I'll just go into your consultation there. But yeah, you can play with it. Put your fingers through it in the meantime. I'll turn the audio off. You can come over here if you want. The pictures are on the computer here.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, come over here.
Yeah.
So you were thinking something up here,
Yeah.
maybe. I can't
Yeah.
remember
I'm
what you said.
still trying to grow my hair, so.
So you're trying to grow your hair?
Yeah.
Well, if you're trying to grow your hair, why do you want to be a haircut model?
Oh, well,
Defeats the purpose. Are you tired of growing your hair?
pardon?
Are you tired of growing your hair?
No, well,
Or
it's
your goal
not.
is to grow it?
It's not that long, but
Yeah.
yeah, I quite like.
If your goal is to grow your hair longer, this isn't going to work for you. You have to
Yeah.
cut your hair. You have to change your hair.
Yeah.
So mousse is a big thing around here.
Yeah.
They no longer make this one discontinued. It's the
Ooh.
strongest mousse ever. I'm like, but for your hair type, I'm going to use the strongest one ever. I do have another bottle hidden away, so I don't use it as often. Normally, I use the stuff that they still make. But this one's my favorite. So we'll blow dry like that. I'll coffee and back. Mousse and hairspray.
If you want to play lift like that yourself at home, go dry it upside down.
Yeah?
Yeah. Loosen hairspray. Because I took the fringe shorter, it just ends up sitting higher. Like you can see that's a longer fringe and it kind of dips over it.
Yep.
But I wanted it shorter, I wanted to see more of your face. Also wanted to have that mean mom experience. Eyebrows are a feature to be seen as well.
Yeah.
And we're getting a lot more out of your hair being shorter.
Yeah.
Because the weight's out of it now.
Also all my dead hair from
Also all your dead hair.
dying, yeah.
Yep. So we cut off a lot, but now you look like you have more hair.
Yeah.
Because it looks like there's more volume, it looks like it's thicker, heavier. But it's reality, it's a lot more hair than when you came in. It's the illusion.
Yeah.
That's why we say less is more. You cut it shorter, you look like you have more. Because you're cutting the weight off. And what's left of that blonde, with the highlight from before, it looks good too, because it looks like the sun's done it. It's like the blonde ends from the summer. So we can look at doing color again with you.
Yeah.
Or not. Maybe you want your natural to come in.
My natural blonde used to be quite like...
It would have been when you were younger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone's hair always goes a bit darker with, like, you know, but by the time you're like, I'd say 14 to 18, that's where it's starting to go mousy blonde.
Yeah.
And that's where they turned to highlights. Because they had that 6, 7, 8 year old years, it was really super blonde. 13, 14, like around those years, it starts to go mousy blonde. And they're like, that's not my hair, because they're in denial. And then that's when the highlights start to come at that age.
Yeah.
So that's everybody. And then you're now 20. You're around 20? Yeah, you're 20. So, because you were so blonde when you were young, that's forever your color in your brain.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
That's very common. I'm liking this a lot. Because the texture in it's quite good as well.
Yeah. Like at a point in time, cutting my hair this short would have been like
Anxiety attack.
the scariest thing I could have
Oh
done.
yeah.
Yeah.
And now you're like,
And
no
now
big
I've done
deal.
it.
Yeah. There's also, I always say to people, like, it's like jumping out of an airplane. It's so scary, but once you've done it, it's the best thing you ever did.
Yeah.
Same with cutting your hair. It's scary, but once you've done it, you're like, what was I worried about?
Yeah.
It's the same kind of fear. It's the fear of the unknown. But jumping out of an airplane is danger scary, but the fear of the unknown. This is more, my social life's going to be ruined kind of scary. Or my boyfriend's not going to love me anymore kind of scary. But he's still, you got a smile on his face over there. He's good.
And its hair, it grows back.
Oh yeah.
I feel very Princess Diana.
Yeah, they're going to be a little more like that, which I like anyway, because at the moment, anything to do with Princess Diana is better. That blow dried a certain way. What I've done is I've done a lot more than that, because I use a stronger mousse. So I'm trying to get more out of your hair, because your hair doesn't look exactly like it. That's just a reference to get going. So you end up in more Princess Diana territory, which is awesome.
Yeah.
She's also an admirable person. So then when we do this one, we actually go in and we do more mousse. Because now it's been dried and
It feels
everything.
so light.
Yeah.
Sorry, I shouldn't shake it
Yeah.
a bit.
And this will actually create even more.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. You can see how mousse works on wet hair. Then you can see how it works on dry hair, because that's running on dry hair. So you got that. It just gives you that extra next level.
Mm.
And then you go back in with a hairdryer and smooth that out a wee bit. This one is a vented one.
Yeah.
So I'll go in with this one. Dry out that mousse completely. And you actually have a lot of hair. Like you feel there, you have a lot of hair. It's just a lot of fine hair.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of hair. And then we're going to go in with the spray and build it up. There's an old movie called The Secret of My Success with Michael J. Fox.
Mm.
This looks like his girlfriend's hair in that movie. What was her name? Christian Slater or something like that? Something Slater?
Oh.
Yeah, she played Superwoman.
Mm.
And she had the long, beautiful hair, Superwoman. And then she cut it for a different role. I can't remember what it was. It was short. But in Secret of My Success, it was growing back. So it was this kind of length. So it kind of looks like that. So that's like a mid-80s popular film. And the blow dries and everything in these videos, I just do them fast.
Yeah.
Because they were fastly done in the malls back then as well. You know, you can take the time to do more, but no. Haircuts are fast, blow dries are fast in the malls. And I grab a mirror for the back.
Isn't that fun?
I know.
Yeah. It's not too short either.
It's not.
No, I think it's perfect. Yeah. And we'll just. Cool. And we'll do some after shots. Come with me. Awesome. You look gorgeous. Do you want to keep it like that to go, or do you want to like wash it out and be a little more modern?
I don't know.
You want to keep it like that?
What do you think?
I keep it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Then we go out to the day. I would go and just wander up and down the street
So
and be well.
fancy.
So cool and fun. Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't modernize that. Keep it like that. How about it?
So much. Oh,
Enjoy
it's
it.
so cool.
And what we'll do is 6 to 8 weeks, come back for another something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me just have a look. Wait, no, it's good. 6 to 8 weeks. We can book it now, or you can let me know.
I'll let you know.
That's good. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, because you're gonna settle with things.
Yeah.
But yeah, come back. Also, Fridays after work is good as well as like Monday morning is fine, but Friday after work
Yeah.
works as well. Yeah, where there tends to be a few beers as well.
Yeah.
So, all options are good.
Good.
Yeah. You like it?
I love
I think it's great. Hey, yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, and you totally look like Metro Girl. Like that's cool, Cuba, Wellington. Yeah, amazing.
Thank you so much.
Cool.
So
Yeah.
cool.
Awesome. Yeah, enjoy. Good to meet you as well.
it.
See ya. See you guys.